Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. So today's video is a Disney princess question and answer video, and it's long overdue because I think it's been a few weeks since I've done one of these. So thank you guys for waiting patiently, and I had posted a photo on my Instagram account recently, and I asked people to leave questions below if they had any ideas for questions for a video. So I'm going to answer some of them. I received so many questions, I get overwhelmed. And some of the questions are so good and then I forget to answer them, so I apologize if you're still waiting for your question to be answered. Hopefully soon, or you can always resubmit it to me as many times as you need to. Don't feel bad about bugging me, because if I can get back to you, I will. If I can't, then I'm so sorry. I'm especially terrible on Facebook, so for all you people waiting on my Facebook site for me to write you back, I apologize. It's not easy finding time. I still gotta cook, I still gotta clean, I still gotta iron my husband's clothes and take care of the kid and make time for my friends and then make time for you guys. So it's not always easy. Just know that I appreciate you guys emailing me at all. So thank you so much. And shout out to Rachel Hankel, who I wish was here right now to answer these with me. I miss you, Rachel, and I know you love me, so I love you too. Okay, so let's get to the questions. The first question is from I'm Jenn 146 on Instagram, and she says, do you get to choose whether you work at Disneyland or Disney World? Yes, you do have a choice whether you work at Disneyland or Disney World, and you make that choice when you go to apply for a job, because even though like Disneyland and Disney World, it's like they're both Disney, they're still separate places where you apply. Like if I applied at Disney World, so I was applying to work there and to work in their entertainment department. If I would have wanted to go and be Princess Jasmine at Disneyland, I would have had to fly to California and go to one of their auditions and audition to work there. So they're not quite a separate company, but kind of. I don't know. We still had like my passes. I could still get into Disneyland for free, and I could still get discounts there with my cast member ID card, but to go work there, I would have had to have auditioned for the casting in Disneyland. You can't just like jump around so easily like that. It's not like, oh, we need a Jasmine in Tokyo, let's send one from, oh, my phone beeped. You know, like even the girls, like a lot of the Princess Jasmines or some of the princesses that I worked with at Disney World, they wanted the opportunity to go and live abroad in Tokyo Disney in Japan and go work over there at that theme park. So they would audition here in Orlando when Tokyo would come to Orlando, like the casting from over there would come to Orlando and have a big casting and audition thing. And so then all the girls who worked at Disney World would then go and apply to work at the Tokyo park, and so they would come back and tell. I wasn't a dancer, so I never had the courage to go and audition. Plus, I was already married, so I don't think my husband would have wanted me flying to Tokyo for a year or anything. But the girls would tell me how the audition for Tokyo was way different than the audition. I mean, not super different, but you know, there were subtle differences from the audition for Disney World, because in Tokyo, they're looking for specific things to suit their park, their culture. It is the same company, but it is a different way. They have their own way of doing Disney over there, and it's so great and so wonderful. And I heard so many wonderful things about it, and I can't wait to go there someday. I don't have the money to go there right now, but someday I intend to one day make it over there and experience all the wonders that is Tokyo Disney. Disneyland, I don't know that Disneyland is a lot smaller, and I don't think that they have a huge entertainment department the way Disney World does. I feel like you have more opportunities to get cast at Disney World simply because there's more need, there's greater need. You're gonna have a lot more variety of characters. So that's something to keep in mind. Same thing for Tokyo, Paris. I heard that they don't have a Mulan or Pocahontas, whereas here at Disney World we do. I don't know if that's true, if they have Pocahontas or Mulan, so don't quote me. I don't know everything there is to know about Disney, although I wish I did, but I don't. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're applying. Next question. I hope that answered your question. Next question. Lil56789, and she says, what was your least favorite and favorite part about being Jasmine? Ooh, I love this question. So my let's start with my favorite part about being Jasmine. Okay, I loved putting my makeup on in the morning, getting ready, transforming into Princess Jasmine every day. It was a ritual, and it is so much fun, and Disney gives you plenty of time, girls, to get ready, because I think some girls might have been concerned, well, how do you get ready? And so they do give you plenty of time to have your wig put on, for you to do your makeup, for you to get your clothes and everything, so that you can entertain the world and make magic. So I loved the transformation because you go from like ordinary girl into somebody else, you know, and for a little while you are no longer yourself. I was no longer Jennifer Oakes. For a while, a few hours in the day, you were Princess Jasmine, and when people saw you, they didn't see Jennifer Oakes. They don't know who Jennifer Oakes is. They know Princess Jasmine. And so, you know, so people already have this relationship with the character, and you can identify with the people who have that relationship because you yourself have that relationship with the character that you grew up loving as well. And so so it's really so fun to bring joy, and just to bring the joy to people. I mean, that I think is one of the most valuable and one of the greatest reasons why you would want to be a character, is that you are constantly being able to bring a smile to people's faces. And so it's not like one of those jobs where you kind of go dreading it because people are going to be angry to see you or something like that. People are running to you to see you. So that is a wonderful feeling to have. It's wonderful to be in the parades and to do, I mean, honestly, it's like, what part isn't your favorite part of the job? You know, gee, let me think, you know, I don't know, riding in the magic carpets, bringing joy to people, it's kind of hard, you know, like each day was something new. And so that, I would say, was my, like, those types of feelings, those happy feelings that you not only gave but were able to receive. It is just wonderful. So that is probably my favorite part of being a character, or just being a character in general. So my least favorite part about being Princess Jasmine, it can get very sweaty during the summer months, but when it's winter, that's not really an issue. Here is one of my least favorite parts. When I used to do dining, a lot of times we are very rushed during dining. When you go to do like a princess dining, you have X amount of tables you have to see in X amount of time. And so you're not able to really take your time with guests the way you would like. And I remember seeing, like, on a restaurant review of Akershus or whatever in Norway, where the princess dining was, I remember the moms giving bad reviews to the restaurant, like reading these bad reviews, and the mom saying, oh, so Cinderella didn't care about my daughter, she just whizzed by our table, she didn't even take the time to do this or that. And they were really disappointed, and being like on the inside, I knew why they were disappointed, and it was like things that were out of our control. Like, we are so pressed, or you get so pressed for time. You know, I'm not doing the character anymore. I used to, but I remember just being so pressed for time and wanting so badly to stay longer with the table to give them a more magical experience. But you are literally trying to work around the waiters. You are rushing to get to see all of the tables, because if you don't get off set on time, you'll be behind for the rest of the day. And so I just remember feeling like bad for the people. So please don't be angry at the princess. Like, you need to tell management, hey, can the princesses stay longer, so that they can like adjust their timing and how they schedule their restaurant or whatever. So I think it's something more with management, not with the princesses. I think it's important for moms to know it wasn't personal towards your child. Some kids, and the way the family dynamic works, it's easier to get a magical moment during a dining series than it is like some families, like if they don't have their book ready, if their camera's not ready, like the princess is gonna be like, okay, I gotta go, I don't have time for you to not be ready. So you need to be like ready with your book, ready with your pens, ready to go, so that you can make it as easy for the princess as possible to not only do all of the things that she needs to do with you, but so that she can also chat with you slightly, you know, a little bit. There's not as much time like as if you were to go in line and actually meet the princess, because then she can then be in control, versus at a restaurant you've got to adhere to the management's guidelines, because especially at Epcot, like the restaurants are not actually owned by Disney, they're third-party participant, if I'm not mistaken. So some of the restaurant, like the castle, is owned by Disney, but like at Epcot is where I used to do a lot of dining, and so, you know, we would adhere to the management there. So anyway, I hope that kind of answers your question. So yeah. What's it like being in the parade? Do all the people who work as characters go in the parade, or only some? And that's from S.Kemp25. What's it like being in the parade? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I was in, as Princess Jasmine, I only did the parade at Hollywood Studios. They no longer have Princess Jasmine in the parade at Hollywood Studios, from what I've heard. I haven't seen a parade at Hollywood Studios and I don't know how long, since the last time I was in a parade is probably the last time. Being in the parade is honestly a dream come true, or it was for me, because I didn't get to do it that often. I didn't work at Hollywood Studios because you had to be like a really good dancer to work there because of Fantasmic. Just the Jasmine that they needed, they needed her to be able to dance really well, and I was more of a meet and greet type character. And so so the few times that I did the parade, I relished it, I loved it, and I enjoyed every single second of it. Aladdin is dressed up in his Prince Ali outfit, so you feel already like it's a special occasion, because usually Aladdin was wearing his street rat clothing, and in the parade he just looks super handsome, and you're here with this handsome character and you're this happily married couple, and it's just so wonderful and so nice, and you know, you're waving to everybody. And how often do you get to be in a parade in general in real life? Let's be honest. How many times have you been in a parade? Let me ask you. Exactly. Had it not been for working at Disney, I would never have experienced being in a parade. So I am so thankful to Disney World for giving me that opportunity and being able to bring joy. And as well, it's like a very give-receive type job. But as far as Magic Kingdom goes, I did do fur characters in that parade. I was Pluto, performing as Pluto and performing as Mr. Smee. And I also performed as a fairy, although that was an accident because you needed to know a dance routine, and I was not approved for that dance routine because I had 2 left feet, and so somehow I ended up doing it though, and I just did my own routine that night, I guess. I was also Rope Girl in the Magic Kingdom Spectro Magic Parade, and Rope Girl stands at the end. There's like 2 or 3 girls who are Rope Girl, and you stand at the end holding the rope that closes the parade, and that was probably the funnest job to do in the parade for me, because you know, the fur costumes can be heavy. I mean, Pluto was very heavy on my shoulders. I didn't have a lot of upper back or up shoulder strength, and I really think that guys are more suited to Pluto than girls. But some girls are really sturdy and they're strong, and they're tough girls, and they can handle Pluto, and they were good. They had no complaints, and you know, I was not them. So but Mr. Smee was an easy costume. It was just a lot of learning steps and choreography, which I was trained to do, but I was not a naturally gifted dancer, so it was more work and thinking. Like, it was constant, okay, doing these steps, constantly having to think about where you're putting your feet and the movement. So that's why, girls, I encourage you to be taking your dance classes. Dance is not just physical, it's a lot of up here, and to be able to coordinate and be coordinated is a big deal, and it's very helpful in everyday life, you know, when you're walking around not bumping into things the way I am kind of klutzy, and you know, with Princess Jasmine I was very poised, you know, and it was easier to do that, the simple walking, than it was to do choreography. So you know, so it's important to make sure you're taking your dance classes, because that is something that Disney looks for. Being able to be poised and being able to be choreographed is important to them. Those are things that they're looking for in their entertainment. And you know, every so often exceptions are made. They made an exception for me because I was the type of Jasmine who, when I wasn't wearing the Princess Jasmine outfit, I literally had Arabic people from the Middle East constantly asking me, "Are you from my country?" And I would be like, "What country are you from?" And they would say, "I'm from Iran," or "I'm from Saudi Arabia." So Disney made an exception for me because I looked the part, I suppose. That's the only reason I can think that they made an exception for me being a less than stellar dancer, is because I really did have Middle Eastern people constantly asking me if I was from the Middle East. Rachel was an awesome dancer. She made a great Snow White. She was a little bit taller than what they would have preferred, but she had what they needed, she had what they wanted, so you know what, they're gonna excuse a couple of inches, you know. So there are exceptions, yes, but they are extremely rare, and Rachel was an exceptional dancer. Rachel was an exceptional looking Snow White, so they made an exception for her. But most people, if you're not an exceptional looking Snow White, if you're not an exceptional dancer, why should they make an exception for you? So if you know you're not an exceptional looking princess, be sure that you are being an exceptional dancer, so that maybe they'll make an exception for you. So that's a lot of times to say exception. But anyway, back to the question. And she says, do all the people who work as characters go in the parade or only some? As far as I know, all of the characters go in the parade, because they have roles for all levels of talent in the parade, including people like me who had no dance talent. They had Mr. Smee, whose steps were very simple, and for a professional dancer, Mr. Smee would have been way too easy. So they gave that job to me, and they put them in harder roles. And rope girl was an easy job for anybody to do, because you just were walking at the back of the parade holding the rope. And so yes, everybody has a chance to be in a parade. But some of the parades are more challenging than others. Hollywood Studios, from what I remember, I don't know how their new parade is, but the old parade that I worked in, it needed really good dancers. And so very rarely, unless you were sitting in a float the way I did, you needed to be a good dancer to be in that parade. So generally, it was a lot harder to be in that parade than say Spectro Magic, which used all levels of talent. So it just depends where your talent lies, because Disney will utilize you where they feel you can be used. But even though I may not have been a great dancer, I believe I had decent animation skills, like as far as like improvisational, like I remember at my audition I had to pretend like I was putting laundry into a laundry machine and doing the laundry and baking a cake. And so I must have done a decent job of convincing the casting directors that I was baking a cake without actually baking a cake, without having, you know, the things that you need. So that probably helped sell them on that I would be marketable or usable for their entertainment department. Okay, maybe she's not a great dancer, but she's got good animation skills and she looks the part, so we can still use her somehow. So they probably saw that. And so, you know, be taking your acting classes. Improvisational acting is great acting to be familiar with, because you use a lot of that in Disney entertainment. And same for commercial acting. You know, Orlando is a very commercial industry. They don't do a lot of movies or television here, but they do a lot of commercials in Orlando. And I think that, you know, especially with theme parks, it's very commercial. And so taking commercial style acting and improvisational acting, those are the two types of acting classes that will help you most, I believe, in Disney's entertainment department. So those are all the questions for this video today. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you share this video with somebody who might be interested, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Leave comments or questions below. I would love to hear from you. I'm expecting a baby soon, so I will probably be slow in answering people back. Please don't feel ignored or unloved. I'm sending love to you. So be on the lookout for another video, because I'm gonna try to like film these before Lucas is here, and then just kind of upload them so that you guys are still hearing from me, even though I might not be filming for a few weeks. Hopefully you'll still be seeing videos pop up from my channel, just because I'll have worked on them ahead of time. So anyway, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.